Hey, welcome to Daily Beard for September 7th, 2019. We're going to do question of the week. A little while ago, I got a question from Bear and my friend Bear, Joshua Bear Armstrong. And he asked me, is there a book or video game that I would really like to be turned into a movie? And then another question got asked, which I'll throw on at the end. And so I was going through this, thinking about it, and I'd really like Ready Player One to be turned into a Netflix show or an Amazon Prime show. I say that because it got turned into a movie by Steven Spielberg last year, and it was a lot of fun and barely recognizably was Ready Player One. Like it had the name Ready Player One, but it was definitely not the book Ready Player One. There was so much missing, like so much of it was changed. It was like, hey, let's take the core concept of this and the names of the characters, but everything in the book that made those characters the characters, they basically stripped. Like they literally took, well, we'll take this and this. Like, so say there's 10 core elements that make up a character. For most of the characters, they used maybe 3 of them. For some, even less than that. And then didn't build those characters up at all. So you didn't really care about those characters one bit. And because the way the book is laid out, I'll be 100%, it's not cinematic in the same way that the movie is. Like the big race in the movie, if you've seen Ready Player One, it doesn't happen in the book at all. It was, how can we make the challenge something really cool and include as much pop culture references as we can? And that's what they did. So you have freaking King Kong in there, you got the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park, like you got everything, like all these references to movies and pop culture, but it had nothing to do with the book. And like the book would have made a great 3-season Netflix series or Amazon Prime series. I just got Amazon Prime personally because I'm a student, and you get it cheap if you're a student. And I'm a student, so I took advantage of it and I'm getting it. So I have it, so I'm using it now already. But they have a bunch of cool stuff to look at, but they also got cheap shipping on stuff, like free shipping, 2-day shipping things. So another benefit of being a student. Yeah, the movie was nice and neat, and like the whole middle section, like where they do the Shining thing, didn't happen at all either. So, but it was cool. And if I'd never read the book, I probably would like the movie a heck of a lot more. So I would love to see a proper Ready Player One. That's one thing. I love a book called Good Omens, which apparently Amazon Prime has turned it into a series, or at least it's not a series, okay? Like it is a series. Let me correct myself. It's not an ongoing series, so it's literally like a mini series that it's start and stop. It won't have a second season as far as I know. And the guy who wrote that, Neil Gaiman, and Terry Pratchett has since passed, so he wasn't involved, but he was involved directly in the making of it, so hopefully it's going to be well made. So those things I really want. There's a bunch of comic books I'd love to see made, but that's one thing. But flipping that, Emily Campbell, who's a friend of mine, supremely talented at computer graphic type things. That's what I'll just throw that there. She's like, better question, what do you not want? So they're both good questions. So what I don't want, what video game I definitely don't want turned into a movie, because they've already kind of taken it and screwed with it, is Resident Evil 4. It's my favorite video game of all time. I don't want them to, like, they've already used the character in the Resident Evil movies, but if they took that and tried to cinematically make it, it's very cinematic, but I don't want them to leave it as a video game. Yeah. And books that I don't want them to, I wish they could erase The Hobbit. Yeah, that would be good. Don't mess with The Hobbit. So I don't know. That's But Resident Evil 4, I really don't want them to touch. I really don't want them to actually try and make an actual Resident Evil 4 game, like, and title it Resident Evil something or other. And so don't, just leave it be. It's a really good, it's my favorite video game of all time. I love it. Don't do that. It's fine. So yeah. So there you go. Those are my ones. If you'd like your question asked or answered, I guess you'd have to ask it and I'd answer it. I will guarantee an answer, just might not be always here, but I haven't had many questions lately, so please feel free to ask. And I hope those are good answers, Bear and Emily. And thanks for watching. You have a good day. God bless.